Hey everybody, welcome back to the next exciting mission of Duke Nukem Attrition. I am still Nick Roth, and I still have Deceitful Penguin here with me.
Hello everyone.
We are obviously out to sea in this particular mission called Derelict, or Derelict, as the French are known to say.
Actually, they would say something like Derelict, but that is because they have a terrible French accent.
Yeah, we are all French here. Ha ha ha.
I come from Louisiana. I throw magic cards. Something.
That you actually completely left France there and went somewhere else.
I've never actually heard Gambit talk. I've only read his Louisiana accent.
I guarantee jambalaya.
Oh, is it like that Gabriel Knight one where Curry guy sounds absolutely terrible?
Yeah, pretty much.
You just flew up Jesus pig.
Pigs walking on water is obviously an abomination against the Lord and deserves to be put down. I mean, he was already on fire either way, so.
Valdeez too. You told me this was
humor.
a reference to something.
Probably the Exxon Valdeez. This is obviously its rechartered brother. Honestly, I would assume that they would never call another ship the Valdeez, you know, because they're ship folk are very what is it?
Superstitious?
There you
A
go.
cowardly superstitious lot?
I was about to say suspicious, but that really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, they're also suspicious.
They are suspicious, superstitious, auspicious.
You know, I've worked with sailors and they mostly just seem, you know, either they're just worried about fish or worried about government regulations.
Well, I think once something becomes the cornerstone of your life, you just start to think about it constantly. Like, I know a lot of people that diet. Like, once they start dieting, that's all they fucking think about.
Well, I just came off a diet and I can tell you when you can only eat terrible fucking shit, you start thinking about food a lot.
Well, no, you have to keep thinking about it because you have to plan it, and becomes like it becomes your inertia to living.
I mean, I was on this Fatkins diet and it was just boring as fuck to talk about. So let's talk about freezing explosions and kicking.
Freezing is the best weapon ever. I have found this out through vast experimentation by sticking things in my own freezer and then smashing it. But yeah, you know, initially I gave a cold shoulder to the freezer, and that was the wrong thing. Shut up, you jerk.
Puns!
No. Yeah. You know, pun backwards is nup.
Is that all you got?
But yeah, I mean, initially I really wasn't too hot on the freezer. God, nah. I didn't enjoy the freezer, and I've learned the error of my ways because it's actually a pretty good weapon, especially with the level ups that it gets. Like right now, it has something called freezing spark, so that whenever it actually does hit something, it not only, you know, does the normal freeze, but it also explodes out into additional freezing shots. So your one frozen shot becomes, you know, an additional 6 frozen shots, and can actually be pretty good in pretty tight quarters.
So it's like a scatter shot grenade or something.
Yeah, something like that. Still, the only problem is, well, it's not going to be a problem anymore, but the problem before was that you still had to kick guys to, you know, fully destroy them. Now, though, that we've reached level 2, we do have the alternate fire, which is kind of, I guess like a shotgun blast of ice. So, first you freeze them, and then you just use the alt fire, and they are dead.
I love the idea that you're killing them with hail. You're murdering aliens with inclement weather.
Yeah, I do think it's a very interesting weapon that I'm surprised more games haven't tried to institute. Most even like some sci-fi games, will still stick within the shotgun, pistol, grenade archetype.
Let me tell you that I have played every single sci-fi shooter made, especially all the co-op ones and most of the single-player ones. And aside from Bulletstorm, there has been no major attempt at innovation in FPS weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, what, Resistance? Resistance had, like,
They
one
had
or two.
They had machine guns, they had different kinds of machine guns, they had shotguns, and they had sniper rifles. And they were all the same.
I thought there was, like, an alien weapon in it, though, that was supposed to do something interesting.
The
But you don't
lightning
get
gun or the one that shoots through walls, they're
I
mostly
don't know.
uninteresting.
Oh. Yeah, I remember watching an LP of it. It made it seem like a very bland game, and I can understand why nobody really bought it.
Resistance Fall of Man then, the first game or the second?
The first one.
Well, it was also depressing as fuck, and made no sense, but
Aliens, World War II.
World War One.
I saw.
No, it was 2.
Well, it happened during that time, but it was, you know, Russians attacking Europe, which is World War One.
Yeah, well, that was both wars, technically. But... We'll agree to disagree, because I don't know. I was pretty sure it was 2. I didn't really think they had made that many games about World War One. World War One was very boring.
Going through trenches and shit.
Yeah, and just the weaponry was unimaginative outside of, like, you know, mustard gas and things like that.
Yes, turning your lungs into slush. Delicious.
And for those interested in World War One, you may be interested in Necrovision, or the LP of Necrovision. I wonder who did an LP of that, right? Oh wait, that was me. Fuck you people. No, so yeah, we're just continuing on further into the ship itself.
And the level moves and not the elevator. It was kind of disorientating.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was something with the build engine, or whether it was something that the build engine actually allowed you to do, but I knew a lot of early FPSs really, they couldn't put rooms on top of rooms. So what they would do is they would kind of give this impression that you were, like, we could easily still be on, like, the top level of the ship. And, I don't know, it's hard to explain without knowing what I'm talking about.
Comprehension is usually required before explanation, yes.
You would assume that. But, you know, some people get away with it. Bankers don't know what they're talking about.
The whole field of economics is fake science.
Exactly. It's all assumptions and supply and demand, fiat.
No, some of their theories are kind of sound, but they're mostly trying to expand what is basically a science about humans, and therefore a social science, into the realm of hard sciences, which is what we would call being a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, you have to realize, being from the U.S., we basically developed our entire economy around the idea of trust us, our money won't go bad.
That
And
is that is economics everywhere. It's
Like,
just as stupid everywhere.
Well, that's because everywhere else based it on the U.S. dollar.
Okay, yes, that's true. How does your own rocket taste?
It tastes like the American economy. Fiery and tumultuous.
It tastes fake.
It tastes like Alan Greenspan.
Oh.
Elderly. But yeah, I will say this level can be a bit off-putting just for the sheer length that it seems to go on. I'm actually not. I don't think this particular level was a secret mission in any of the original levels, and I was trying to remember where this level was actually from in the first place. It might be a mod-made level. I'm not actually sure.
Did you find it lying on the curb of the road and picked it up and go, yeah?
No, I mean, it's in the natural progression of the levels themselves. It's just, it's kind of weird that after you finish the first episode, it just kind of puts you into the secret levels, and then it just kind of, I'm wanting to say this is the last level before entering into the real episode 2, and it just, I don't know, seems kind of out of place, I guess. You know, I can still say it's probably 3D realms because they used a a really shitty off-topic, or a very shitty topical bad taste joke about Valdeez.
Or maybe the modders are so good they even, you know, make the proper references and having dated an awful one.
Well, it could have been that it was a model that was already present in the game that was used in a different level that already existed, and they just went ahead and used it again. It's hard to say.
It will forever remain a mystery.
Until someone that actually works in the modding community looks at the video and says, "You're awful at the game." Which is understandable. I don't know what was happening for this particular level, but I was fucking up quite a bit, especially with the pipe bombs a second ago. I don't know what they were ricocheting off of outside of being jerks.
I've heard that high-yield explosives have a tendency to be jerks.
They do. Just ask any man missing an arm in the IRA.
Ah, yes, the Irish Republican Army.
I'm best friends